So much. Thank you very much, Tinku, for a very generous introduction. So I am very happy to be part of this Atal FDP. Only part is it's too early in the morning probably, so there are many who has still joined the meeting, but I hope they will join soon as if they are interested to. So let me just tell you briefly what I'm going to talk today. So you can see broadly, as you have heard, my work is towards combining the business management with information technology. And this is not, to be very careful, this is not the application of IT in business management, or it is not a business management being done with the help of IT. It is a very strong amalgamation, integration of these two disciplines, which has given birth to totally new discipline. And this discipline is called business informatics. And this is a very, very popular branch in almost 30 countries in the world, being run in the bachelor level and master level and also doctoral programs. And this is first in India because I have been educated in Germany and I am visiting professor there. So my triple IT were very, very kind enough to accept my proposal and allow me to plan, implement, and run a wonderful BTech program, BTech in Business Informatics. Today, I would like to give you a brief introduction about one of the core areas of business informatics, which is called process science. So I will talk to you firstly about the data science and process science, and then a very, very brief introduction about data science, because you already have gone through this throughout your week discussion on the FDP. And all my learned colleagues had already given you a very interesting and very important background about what I'm going to talk today. And also you must be already having a background, but for me, more important will be the interaction with you. And once I complete the discussion, or even if I'm not completing, you want to raise any query, any question, please feel completely free. You can ask any question, any doubt, or any clarification, or if you want to add anything, most welcome. So this will be, actually the area will be, as you can see, the first bullet is highlighting the significance of combining business management with IT. And there I have told you that business informatics is a completely new discipline. Second, a new discipline only for India. Please be careful. It's already 35 countries, including USA, in the name of business information system. Very successful program. So today I will introduce one of the core subjects of business informatics, and that is process science. I would like to combine some of the development from data science, data mining, analytics, and then importantly to understand in today's digital economy, total potential footprint of business and IT to be much bigger. And then there are also in various countries academic trends in this area. We can also talk about it if you are interested. But also that whenever I plan something like a program in academics, we have to see a complete mix of concepts, skills, and researching. These three things has to be combined to make a complete ecosystem. So there are basically four tracks, four essential foundation pillars in business informatics. And these pillars are operation and decision science. And this start from the core areas of operation research, or you can also say optimization theory. And this is also an interesting development, which is built on the optimization theory. And this subject is called decision science. Decision science is a very, very important essential subject, almost mandatory in all the business informatics courses all over the world. So this will be our first essential track in business informatics program. Second is fintech, which is a financial technology. And we all know that all online payments and the gateways, beautifully the way we are getting these payment wallets and digital payments, cryptocurrency, all these developments are combined in the business informatics in the name of fintech, financial technologies. And then comes the MarTech. MarTech is full form of marketing technologies. And as you all know, that there is no more marketing being done with the help of leaflets and hoardings on the roads only. We are having maximum advertisement coming online, and that too when you are looking at some YouTube video, or when you are looking at some web series, or when you are even looking at some news portal. How this is managed, how this is done. When you are looking at a science fiction, a science fiction series on web series or on free YouTube, the advertisement will not be coming to you, which is for the home device, home stuff like Ashirwad Atta. They will never give you advertisement of Ashirwad Atta when you are looking at a spy thriller or a science fiction, because you know what type of audience is looking at this web series and what will be the products they will be interested in too. So how this is done? This is all because of the data being captured about the profile of the users or the audience are looking at a particular genre, particular serial. So they will be automatically doing it through the help of marketing technology. Marketing technology is a huge area in business informatics. They create customer data platforms. They create a demand side preparation. They prepare client side preparation. And there are a lot of efforts called digital marketing. So this is a second or rather third area of business informatics, which is a broad topic of my talk, MarTech, marketing technology. Third is now completed. Fourth is business analytics. You all know a lot of things about the data analytics, so it's not difficult for you to understand what I'm talking in terms of business analytics. So business analytics will drive the data analytics application, and they will attach a particular business context, a particular business interpretation of the data, and that will be slightly changing all your analytics approaches. So this will be a general discussion, general introduction about the business informatics program under which I have started this talk. But don't forget, I already declared it in my title itself that the general theme for me can be advances in business informatics. But my talk today will be primarily on the business process mining and analytics. So with that, I would like to come to the last part of my overall session objective. So session objective is to develop process intelligence with analytics approaches. So what we are trying here today, we are trying to develop with you is that this is already a very well-established area of data science and data analytics. I'm trying to take these advances in techniques in the domain of process science. Process science is a completely new subject. I will be introducing you today the basics of it, and then I will be taking you to the levels of process mining and analytics. And I hope you will be able to appreciate that this beautiful amalgamation is a long future in research, and we a lot of researchers we need, because we have enough MOUs now with IIIT Allahabad and with our group also, with people from Germany, France, Italy, Norway, and they all are looking for a bright candidate who can contribute to this new emerging field of business informatics. And believe me, if you know the basics in information technology, or if you are strong in business management, this is not a very difficult thing to learn. So with that, I would like to continue with my lecture talk. And last bullet is funding opportunities towards international collaboration. Unfortunately, I have not added any slide on this particular agenda, but at the end, please feel free to ask me if you have any specific question. I can only tell you that we have with 5 wonderful universities in Europe, a very strong MOU with our IIIT Allahabad in general and our group in particular. And the group means Dr. Manish Kumar is part of the group, and also the scholars of them. So we are planning a very good collaborative project on these areas of business informatics. So that's all for the overall objective. Let me now start the proceeding. Please feel free if you have any question, any query before I start. So this is the last time, the beautiful period when we could not have Corona problem and we could visit to European universities. And I delivered a very short program in the University of Paderborn, where I was a visiting professor in the Department of Business Informatics. Because I'm educated from Germany, so I was easily accepted. I'm selected for the visiting professorship to directly interact with the students there. And now with almost 5 years of my visiting professorship, with every year, something like this many students. And you can see this young girl making a V sign, doing a V sign like this. They show that they are very happy with what we are dealing with. And now I have a wonderful, wonderful army of my past students in Germany, France, Italy, Norway, who now support me in my international efforts when I want to combine the two wonderful country and the researchers. So with that, now I want to start the whole idea of what we want to. So as you know, the basic background of our work is, as you can see on the top, businesses are getting more IT centric and IT is getting more business focused. Who would not agree with me that in the last couple of years in the corona pandemic, when everything was work from home, the thing which was driving all of them was information technology, digitalization. And those who couldn't do it so far were compelled to go online and compelled to go on digital transformation so as to see how the business can still function being from home. So you can see the development. I need not explain you. We are all well informed participant. You can see from how we have evolved from telnet when we are only doing a typewriter type emails typings. In 95 when I went to Germany first time, I sent my home only a small message, but I could not attach any picture from Germany because internet and email was not supporting any picture attachment that time. You can believe me. So it happened only after email was extended by World Wide Web and people are available with the hypertext. So more than text we could transfer. And now we are in the era of WhatsApp and IPTV. So we know what we are doing now. So with this transformation, definitely businesses are also going to be changed. So we are now going to talk about the business process mining, which is actually a travel from the data science to process science. You already know data science so well that I did not repeat it. Rather, you can tell me more than what I can tell you now today. So data science is a highly interdisciplinary field, as we all know. And this is a combination of databases, visualization, visual analytics, data mining, algorithms, statistics, and also different categories of analytics approaches. What question data science answers? That also is known to you. You can see the problem in the data science people is, especially for the business analyst people, is that first question they are facing is they can't find the data that they need. Because data is spread across the network. Data is in the form of social media likes. Data is in form of product reviews. They are not stored somewhere. They are not captured by a particular technology to be processed. That is the first issue. Second, I can't get the data I want. I particularly need for my newly launched product of a microwave oven, I want to know the product review. But this data is not available at one place. There is no server capturing all over world the particular product reviews. So the problem is how I need an expert to get the data for my working. Of course, the next step will be to see that how the things are. I can't understand the data. As a data scientist, I just do not know some numbers and some CSV format files because available data is poorly explained. That's the issue of the data science. I can't use the data I found. So you can see the bulk of documents and data available around the person who's unable to have these questions answered. And that's what is the area of data science which works. The various technology advances which handle such questions are actually a part of data science. So let us see how we are going to handle these areas. And typically what I want data science to answer is in about the past, present and the future. And that is something about what happened, what is happening, why did it happen, what will happen, and what do I want to happen. So these are very different type of question which handle the data. As you can see on the top, the data is coming from the desktop, from the clients, from the mobile phones, from the other devices, and they all are being processed for different purposes, for enterprise resource planning, for customer relationship management, and supply chain management, and also third party along with the black books. So these are the areas where you collect it, and of course you already have gone through because I was told by the program coordinator, Professor Manish Kumar, that he has given you a wonderful explanation about the 4 category of analytics, which is start from the descriptive analytics, and then diagnostic analytics, then predictive analytics, and also about the prescriptive analytics. So I'm not going to spend much time on that. Of course, if you have any query, you can just raise your hands and I can stop there and we'll be love to discuss. But it's a long lecture. I would not prefer it to be one-sided. And I'll be rather more than happy if somebody just show the sign of raising hands or can write on chat box or can you speak also that you want to stop somewhere in between and discuss something immediately if you want. Absolutely no problem because it's long time. So we have to be interactive. So with that, I would like to come to these areas where you can see the 4 types of analytics approaches are available. And these approaches are basically dominating the data science domain. And imagining that you already know about these approaches, now only I can go to the area of the data science combined with the process science. Okay. So you see the process science. So process science is actually, as you can see, is a highly specialized field. It deals with the business process management, process improvement, operation research, optimization, formal methods, stochastic processes, and stochastic approaches, and then business process modeling, which is actually going to improve the business processes in the name of business process re-engineering. Okay. So now what happens is basically that we have this idea of process science, which has newly emerged in the business informatics domain. And these domains are very, very new to the Indian academics and the industry, Indian researchers. So I would like to just give a very tutorial type introduction. Please don't mind it because I understand that it is required to build the basic concept, basic fundamental, before you start doing research in this. But you can see these wonderful wings of the process science. Okay. So if you know anything about any one thing about it, then you can learn the remaining things. For example, if you know stochastics, it's perfectly all right for you to start researching in this area. If you know the optimization, wonderful. Operation management and research, similarly, the process mining is a result of all this. Business process management, process, not project. Business process improvement, process automation, and workflow management, along with formal methods and concurrency theory. So these are the area where you can always look at as a fundamental building blocks for the process science. But I'm not going to talk to you precisely all the things about process science, but my talk is about the bridging these 2 wonderful areas, and this is what I'm going to talk. So what we are going to talk is process mining. Process mining takes the idea and fundamentals from processes, from process science, and go to the domain of data science and take advantage of the wonderful developments in data science. Wonderful development in data science. And that's the area where I'm going to talk today about it. So we are going to make use of both the area, both the discipline, and then try to arrive at a very interesting combination. But why process mining? Why process? So I want to draw your attention to your surroundings. When you look around you, actually you will find out that everything around you is a process. You go to factory, the production is a process. It's a very systematic way of dealing it. Very strictly defined sequences. If you go to a hospital, get yourself registered, then get into the counseling chamber, then some diagnostic test, and then based on test, you are taken to a particular specialist. A specialist have a look at you, and then you prescribe something to your medicine, and you go to a medicine counter and collect the medicine, and get administered the medicine or injection, whatever, and then you come out of the hospital. If you can look at it, it's all almost same like any other thing process. You are part of the process, which is fixed, which is well defined. Similarly, in your home also, if you see even cooking the food is also a process. So this process science looks at these processes more carefully and try to suggest how to improve this process. How to improve this process. So everywhere, and then the question is now also raised that how you basically deal with this process and how you define it. So a formal academic definition for a process is it is a collection of related events, activities, and decisions that involve a number of actors and resources that collectively lead to an outcome that is of value to an organization. It is very, very important. How does it make sense, the value part of it? Can any one of you suggest me what it means by value to the customer? So you possibly might have seen many such processes around you. I have given you some example in the down side of the slide. Application to approval is a process. Claim to settlement is a process. Fault to resolution is a process. Okay, but the problem is we all are so much immersed, engaged with the processes that we are not realizing what I have raised as earlier a point in my slide on the blue color. Value customer. Every organization will be convinced that they are following the process, whereas what customer want is not the process, but they want the solution. They want the answer. It's not only customer and the business, it's about every process around us. It may be even scientific process of doing a research. Ultimate value is the product. What is outcome? I can take you a very simple example in the next slide to convince you about these value and customers. So let me give you an example of a situation. Typically, when you are you purchase a new washing machine in your home and it's not working. It's not working. You are completely newly purchased the washing machine, not working. Now you are a customer who is a very, very angry customer because you think you have paid enormous amount of money and now you have all the rights to see that your machine should work. So you immediately call the company's given number, and that is belonging to a call center. The call center takes up your call and it takes you in an automated manner, transfers your call to a service dispatch who associate the technician with you, and technician looks at the possibility of a spare parts to be required and immediately forwards you to the parts store. Parts store is not ultimately going to solve your problem. It is going to ask you whether you are still a customer under warranty or not. So it will direct you to the warranty. And then warranty section will check your records and ask you whether you have still the machine not opened and not changed and still you are under warranty or not. And it comes back to you asking you about the warranty. And by this time, every customer will be in the same situation like I have shown in this cartoon. You'll be very angry. You'll be very angry. You will be saying, what nonsense is going on? My washing machine is not working. And it's newly purchased one. And nobody is solving my problem. Company will always be telling you that they are completely doing what they are supposed to do. They are following the process. So at the end, what will happen is you have to understand that every process has a value associated with that. And the value, now you can see the change cartoon on your screen. I hope my slides are visible to all of you. So I know at least one person, Ahmed Tala Siddiqui. Ahmed Tala Siddiqui, can you hear me and my slides and the movements?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you so much. So because sometimes in the online mode it happens so that you are thinking it is being done on the other side also, but it is not. So thank you. So as you can see, my whole process science discipline is developed around this idea that there are processes and there are some value associated with the process. If something like the washing machine is not working, then important thing is that the process should be having a definition called from fault report to resolution. So unless the resolution is done, the process is not giving its best. But the question is, what to do in this case? And can we do something in automated manner, or we should look at every process in the manual levels? Of course, we'll try to answer this question, but you have to believe me that the process science which deals with the processes is a very relevant science. Just imagine any other process. I think many of you must have traveled these days in various airlines, and sometimes some of my friends wonder that why a particular airline is more successful and giving more flights and always in time than compared to other flights. Do any one of you have any preference about the flights or any positive opinion about a good running flight, domestic flight in India? Can you give any name? Any good experience about a flight which you are seen in a couple of years? Well, so I think you're not interested to speak, but the question is, if you see carefully about the various travels which you have made in the past, you would realize that one of the flight connections with the Indigo were always on time, more or less. And that is also was one of the case study in a business school, that what makes Indigo so successful when many other domestic operators have gone down sometime with the infeasible revenue model. Sometimes they are not able to maintain or sustain. For example, Jet Airways, for also example, Sahara Airlines in the past. And also there was this Malayas Airlines, I don't remember the name. So there are many airlines which got closed in last 5 years. But Indigo was successful. Indigo was running very fine. And if you look at carefully your flight experience, then you will find out it's also a very important, efficient flight management process. Flight management process in Indigo. How they maintain the time on airport, because once you are landed in the particular airport, and when you're taking off from the airport, the time you are staying on the airport, they have to give an enormous amount of money, enormous amount of fees to the airport authorities. And if you are allowed for 1 hour of staying in the hangars or in the airport, and if you are crossing that time, the every time increased will be very expensive for you. So the whole summary is that when a plane lands, it should very quickly clear all the jobs and take off from the airport. Take off from the airport. But how to do it quickly? So this flight is coming from somewhere, for example, coming from Delhi and landing at Allahabad. And now it's going to head to Bombay, for example. So first, the Delhi passenger will be coming out of the plane. The luggages will be cleared. The plane will be cleaned and maintained, and all the fueling will be done. And then the new boarding will be allowed. So this has a very fixed process. That's what I'm coming to. Let's say having a very fixed process, sequentially done. And every airline will say, what can I do? This is the minimum time required for any airlines to start the new flight. It's minimum time required. But you will be surprised that Indigo has wonderfully, excellently managed this flight management with the passenger boarding. So how they have done it? They have looked very carefully at their process of the, you can say what I've written here. Now I read the slide. Efficient flight management in Indigo passenger boarding. It's also a smaller unit of process called workflow. It's a workflow management. So how aircrafts clear up passengers on board is an example of workflow management. When a plane lands, it has to quickly clear the passengers on board and follow a workflow that clears the plane while incoming passengers boarding also quickly. By improving workflow in this scenario, Indigo could ensure excellent flight management with minimum delay after landing. This is a great example of an efficient workflow. However, at an airport, this workflow positively influences multiple other workflows going on, like takeoff, refueling, and maintenance. So please believe me, this is already a business school case study of process management by Indigo, which is one of the major reasons for the whole airlines to become profitable. Can you believe? Can you believe that some small processes, every airport, every flight, every city, they have strongly and very structurally maintained, and that make them one of the many times you will realize Indigo has taken you to a place before time. At least I have at least more than half a dozen examples of even 1 year where I was taken to a particular place before time. I'm supposed to reach at Bombay at afternoon 3:30, and I gave my driver a time of 3:30, and I reached there in 3:10. And now my driver is saying, "Sir, 3:30 you told. At least I believe 15 more minutes you will take to come out. 3:10 you reached. 5 minutes you are out in the airport lounge. How can I reach?" Wonderful example of process management, I must say. But these are simpler examples because the processes are simple. But imagine a complicated manufacturing process or a complete business house with a lot of process running on. This cannot be done manually. This cannot be done so quickly. And that's what is all about the process science. So a process science gives the identification to the process in the level of three different levels. So first is a process landscape. In the process landscape, you have some core processes. Then there are support processes which support this major process. And then there are management processes which handles you. Then comes the next level 2, which actually is the abstract process model. So here you convert all your process into a process model. Then you go for detailed process model with the help of BPMN, business process modeling notations, business process modeling notations. So in this manner, this complete process science is developed. And if you look at the processes, you can see that how to answer this question. You can see the slide. How do you manage these processes? How do you manage these processes? First method is to manage the process, ask the people. Any organization you have entered and you want to ask him, "Sir, I want to have education loan." Then what is the process? You ask the person in the bank clerk. This is one way of understanding any, because bank loan approval is also a process. Similarly, you can go to the system itself, automated system or software, and see the flow of the software or flow of the process workflow and try to understand. That's what I have given you 2 pictures. Ask the people, ask the data. Data means automated system. Now I go to below, the down extreme right side of my slide, and you can see I have given you the pros and cons. Pros and cons of asking the people and asking the data. Data means system, automated system. So in the pro part, you can see the low technical effort. If you ask somebody, he can immediately tell you that's not involving much technology. Second, it may offer also explanation because sometimes something is not written in the rule, but it will be explained to you in personal level. And there also contain some soft factors. For example, he will say you that, of course, a bank loan can be provided for your children's education. But I can tell you, if the education is being done in a government organization, it will be done very quickly. because all the expenses shown by you will be immediately accepted and funded. But if you are studying in a private organization, then the expenses has to be more carefully examined by our bank authorities. So this will be a soft factor, soft factor. This can be only done at the personal level. What nobody can tell you in the writing or in the description of a automated process. This is the positive side. What is positive side of the asking for data from the system? System will tell you what is as is, what is ideally today's situation. Instead of to be is what it should look like. It contains the complete process. And it's also have low organizational effort. Anytime you want, just go to the software and learn it. For asking a person, you have to understand whether he's available or not, it's free or not, like that. So these are the pros and now the cons. Understanding the process, managing the process, the cons are in the people, high organizational effort. You have to see how to know the correct person to talk to. Then second problem is may show the to be process. It will tell you ideally what is to be done, but not what actually it is working. They will not tell you that when you go to the document verification clerk, he's a terrible person. He's a terrible person, and he's not going to be, first of all, easily available. He's too busy. Second, he will make a lot of problems, lot of confusion and conflicts. So he will never tell you what actually is. That is the problem with the person. Only offer individual perspective. Maybe somebody is very positive, will tell you all positive side of the process. Sometimes he's a negative person, will say, oh, no, it's not easy to get education loan, these days. It will take at least 1 month. So they are cons. Similarly, on the system side, it's a high cons are high technical effort because you have to understand the software and the whole simulation if it is there. It will not show the soft factors. It will not tell you that bank is really in trouble with overseas educational fund. So don't come to us if you are trying to go abroad for education because our bank will be making you a lot of trouble. And also software does not offer you explanation. So these are the pros and cons of the process. But the important thing is to understand whenever a process is defined and declared and how it is being done. Can you see this picture? Can you tell me how to travel from the point A to point B, point A to point B? I would like to listen to you now, just to make sure that you are not sitting. Yeah.
Diagonally, sir. Diagonally.
Anand Kumar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anand Kumar, thank you so much for answering me. But what I have shown you on the picture, I have tried exactly the same thing. The organization has built a very clear path, constructed, and a red colored path. From A, you go straight. And then from there, a small path is constructed. Can you see my arrow moving here?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
it shows you to go to B. So organization has defined a process to travel from A to B. But what Anand Kumar has told very correctly will happen like this. Okay. It will exactly happen like that. And it's so much so that after many people traveling this diagonal and the shortcut path, which is very intuitive idea, a new path will be constructed. Company has never constructed this smaller bi-lane or diagonal path. You must have seen in hundreds of times such a situation in real life. So the company also has to think about it. If people are not going to follow your process and they have developed from their own experience another easy way or shortcut way, then why not to use that experience for your next process design? Why unnecessarily you are constructing these roads and all these things where nobody is following it? 99% are following the path from A to B in the manner this gentleman is going. So now you can understand all what I'm talking about in the process science. So people have realized that let be a theoretical and the implementation side of the process science subject developed. But thing is that when there are many complicated processes going on, all in the automated manner, how to use this user experience? Can you see my last line, Anand Kumar? Anand Kumar, can you read it loudly, please, for me?
Yes,
Last
sir. Yes,
line
sir.
is the slide.
How can we incorporate users' experience in the process redesign?
Yes. Now you have to answer me. What is your suggestion? In the organizational context, not in the way of what I'm showing you. It is just in a very, very oversimplified example. But you must understand any manufacturing site where the things are going. So what will be your suggestion? How to do that?
Exactly, sir. We need to follow the process. We need to go with the process only. Then only the things are very clear and very suitable. But sir, I just wanted to discuss with you with that one washing machine example, sir. Can
Yeah,
you go back to that slide, sir, please?
yeah, surely.
Sir, actually, as far as me is
Yeah,
concerned,
yeah.
this process design or what you are discussing, which is suitable for few contexts, sir. Few contexts in the sense, for example, I am using credit card, and if
Okay.
suppose something goes wrong, then that IVRS comes, then that lady or that gent speak, then music, then 5 to 10 minutes hold. So that process is, sir, quite irritating. So as far as
Exactly,
uh,
exactly.
as far as me is concerned, sir, that process design, whatever you are telling, that suits good for some certain scenario very properly, sir. But
Hmm.
as far as washing machine is concerned, what I want the quick solution, and that all
Exactly.
call center technician warranty, then that
Now you're getting my point very correctly. So I wanted to make this point very highlighted that customer wants value, customer wants solution, and companies want to have a process, and that's a conflict between the two. And in this competitive time, if there are multiple options for the companies, then people will not go to a company which irritates the customer by its process. It will go to another company who is quickly solving their problem. Do you agree with me or not?
exactly, sir, exactly.
So that's what, but the look at the company's point of view. Now you become a company's manager. Anand Kumar, I am appointing you a manager of a Siemens washing machine company. Okay. Now you
Yes.
tell me what will you do so that the company solves the problem of customer by having a very well defined and very efficient process. What will you do then?
Yes, sir. In today's modern area, we all have the data, correct, sir?
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
moment the moment customer facing any kind of issue, instead of going these many things, we can quickly verify their order ID and all those things within a minute, or it will take maximum 2 to 3 minutes to verify and all those things. And then certainly the company has a very good what we can say, the manpower, and then they can quickly mm, uh, allocate the technician to sort out their problem within a day or a two, sir.
Very good, Anand Kumar. Thank you so much for introducing the process mining and analytics in a wonderful, easy manner to all my other participants. I'm exactly going to that point only. So let me go to the further slide. If you are happy with this discussion, shall we go ahead,
Yes,
or
sir.
you want
Yes,
to add
sir.
something more?
No,
Do you
no,
want
sir.
to add
Sir.
something?
No, sir.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anand Kumar, your background. What have you done earlier?
Sorry, sir.
Your background. What have you done earlier?
No, sir. I'm an assistant professor,
Yeah.
and in the past, I taught certain programming subject, and recently, I've been with operation research also, sir.
Oh, great. Which place you are from, Anand Kumar?
Sir, Navi Mumbai, sir.
Oh,
Navi
Anand
Mumbai.
Kumar, I will then invite you to interact with us more if you are from operation research, because you must have seen our one of the track is in the operation and decision technology. We have very strong collaboration with the German group. So if you are interested after the talk, you can reconnect with us. Fine. If
Yes,
you're
sir.
in the interest means in the research,
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. So now I'm coming back to the discussion and the slides, and I hope my other participants were not bored, but they rather enjoyed the discussion, because now I'm going to tell you how to proceed, how to solve, and the problem is the solution. The first step is business process modeling. So first of all, you have to model the process. You have to convince all of us, including the process designer, that what actually is various steps in the process, how it is today, and this today process will be called as is, and how you want the process to be in the future with efficiency. And these streams will be involving many different terminology. Believe me, it's a one semester course which we are teaching in IIIT Allahabad in business informatics students. So this course is called Business Process Modeling, and their involvement of workflow management, business process automation, business process analytics, business process re-engineering, and also we are using a simulator for that, which is called YAWL, Y-A-W-L. It's a simulator which helps you in modeling a particular process or a workflow with the example of graphical notation. And then after modeling, you can always analyze, you can improve, you can remove the redundancies. And that's what Anand Kumar also was pointing out, that why the irritating repetition of things when you have a data with you, and why not to go with the data approach. That's what exactly we're going to do. But before that, try to understand process science defines everything in its characteristic way. So there are different types of processes. Some are continuous process, some are ad hoc process. Some processes are predictable, as you can see in the slide, predictable process. Sometimes repeatable process, sometimes uninterrupted process. And similarly, you have examples of all these different types of processes. Some processes are short process, for example, they complete in the minutes and hours and days. Some are long process, it takes weeks and months, and they're running in multiple dependencies. So you can see this example, and now you are understanding it very clearly with the discussion we had so far. So let me take you to another slide which tells you that almost everywhere around you, if you look carefully, there are processes involved. And we may get irritated, we may get frustrated, but nobody will listen to you because they will say, it's the process. It's the process. We are following the process. So now how to deal with this area is all top companies are working in the area of process management, and business process management actually deals with these different parts of it. So now I'm trying to give you an example. In the last case, I gave you example of washing machine where I could not provide you any solution to it. Anand Kumar was not happy when I passed the slide because he could not get any solution on that slide. It's perfectly all right. I appreciate his concern. But now I'm trying to give you another example, another simple example. I have constructed a very simple example for all of you. Believe me, the subject is very complicated. If you read it on your own, Coursera, you will never be able to go through. I'm making you very simple and give you another simple example in the terms of what I've shown you on the slide. So in the slide, first important thing is process identification, opportunity assessment, and then important thing is process discovery. Before improving upon any existing process, you should very clearly discover the process in the terms of what it is doing as of today, as is. Then second important thing is, after analyzing the process, redesign the process. And that this redesigning should what we call to be process. To be is future. What you want it to be. We got to be spouse, to be husband, to be wife. So what is the future you want this to happen? So now I will give you a very simple, very easy example of an organization and as is level, and then I try to also give you to be example of it. And all I will do manually, and then I will tell you how it's being handled in the process management and process mining at the automation labs. Okay, so let me take you to the next example, which tells you how the things are being done. So elaborate business processes, as you can see in the picture. Can you see there in the sea there are two islands? The two islands. In one level, people are working in the office with various systems, and another level is highly automated and electronic gadgets, all waiting for you there. And left side is process as is, and right side is the process to be. Process is as is and process to be. And this is exactly the bridge between them, that process management or process mining and analytics is trying to do. Let me give an example more precisely in the company. Okay. So in the company, when you are purchasing raw material for manufacturing and you are contacting the vendor, so the process is that the purchasing section issues a purchase order to the vendor. And when it issues the purchase order to the vendor, it also gives the purchase order to the accounts payable, because account ultimately will pay the money after the whole deal is completed. So are you getting my point? So I am explaining you the process as is. Process as is. Now, when the account payable is already having a purchase copy, then next step is after the vendor has received the purchase order, it supplies the goods and it has it comes by the transportation. You can see a mini truck coming and delivering, and the product is being received by the organization. Okay. After that, the receiving people will inform accounts payable that, hello, I have received the raw material and I received the product, received the material, so I am passing you the document. So account payable gets the document. Then after that, the vendor is going to raise an invoice, which was simultaneously delivered along with the product, but it was handed over to accounts payable department. And after that, accounts payable department issues the payment to the vendor. Now, vendor is complaining that my raw material is being in demand by various companies, and other companies are paying me in just 2 to 3 days. But your company takes at least 1 week. 1 week. So why you are delaying my payment for 1 week? I am not going to supply you in future, and your company will be having a trouble with shortage of raw material. And as a company product manager, you will say, what wrong I have done? This is the only way to deal with it. So this is a typical problem of process as is. Now I want it to be. I want a more efficient process. Can any one of you suggest me how to handle this situation? So guys, you will see it is not rocket science here. It doesn't require any background of business management or information technology whatsoever. You can simply look at the situation. If you are not sleeping and if you are listening to me, then possibly you can suggest me, identify the problem and possibly understand and identify the solution. Any one of you. So out of lot of participants, I already know there are some people from business management background who look at the supply chain management and who looks at the finance part of it. Why are they not helping us? Ahmed Talha Siddiqui, why you are not helping us today? Ahmed Talha Siddiqui, are you there? So Ahmed Talha Siddiqui, he always used to be there in my earlier sessions. I don't know today why he is not speaking. Any other participant? Anjali Sharma, are you able to hear me?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, Anjali, can you hear me? Anjali, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So Anjali, will you please like to help us? We are having a trouble here. We wanted to improve this process, which looks like a completely obvious process. And there is a complaint from the vendor that he is not receiving payment in time. It is being delayed always. So Anjali, what is your background, Anjali?
Sir, data science.
Oh, so you are the perfect person to help us, Anjali. From which place you are?
Sir, I'm working with Lingias University, Faridabad.
Faridabad. Okay.
Yeah.
So Anjali, can you please help us in telling us how to improve the process?
So
Sir,
can you
this
please?
is
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one more person saying something.
yeah, sir. This is Anand. In
Anand.
the yeah, sir. In the process as is, actually we cannot do too much. As far as me is concerned, in this account payable, suppose if we are paying by check, so obviously it is going to take a time. And if we try to do it online, so vendor may receive the money quickly. But in the process as is, certainly we cannot do too much, sir.
No, but what is the solution?
The solution, sir, if they are doing the payment by check or some other medium, so that we can, instead of that, we can just do it online, so they can receive the money quickly. So that
Okay.
2-3 days we might save, sir. That's it.
See, at the process level, Anand Kumar, we have not identified the mode of payment as a problem or as a issue here. So check and draft may not be issue, I am afraid, but the whole cycle, whole process. Maybe Anjali still have some idea. Anjali, do you have some idea how to deal with this problem? Also, I have Dr. S. Jayaprada. Dr. S. Jayaprada, can you hear me? So can any one of you just tell me as a problem in the process? I'm not talking about the thing which is not mentioned here. Whatever I have shown you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, hello, sir. My name is Pradeep. Okay. I
Very
just
good, Pradeep.
wanted-
Please
Okay.
tell me.
Okay. I think on each in whole workflow, right? If we see the like invoice generation process, okay. So and then the purchase order and all kind of operations which are there. So I don't know if they are timed or not. Like if they have a timeline that if they are dealing all these things
Okay.
so that will basically contribute in whole thing, right?
Okay, very
So
good,
if you
very
have
good.
some kind of
Very good, Pradeep. So you have very valid point that there should be a time limit for every process. That's perfectly all right. Perfectly. Pradeep, your background, are you from business management or computer science?
I'm in computer science, sir.
Very good. Thank you. From where you are, Pradeep?
So I'm in Bangalore right now. I'm in like I'm working for industry. Okay.
Oh, great. So now let me tell what my other friends are saying. Any other opinion on how to improve this process? What should be the process? What should to be process?
Lack of communication here between the receiving parties and vendors and
Very
purchasers.
good, Rajeshekar. You have made very valid point. Lack of communication. What exactly is the lack of communication between whom?
For example, if you see that the accounts is sending purchases, sending the purchasing copy or order copy to the accounts department, and when it is going to come, we don't know. And similarly, if you see that payments also, the orders also, we are not sending. Vendor is not giving a purchase order from purchase department. Vendor
Very
is
good,
getting a,
very good.
but he is not giving a reply to him at all, whether he has sent the
Right.
goods to the properly or not.
Very good. So now you can see is otherwise everybody in general will not find any trouble, but Rajeshekar
So
has
can I
told very well.
contribute?
Yeah,
Sorry,
please,
sir.
Dr. Parikshit. Please, Dr. Parikshit.
So good morning, sir. Sir,
Good
what
morning.
I believe that this invoice generation and then this payment has been made. There are two processes, invoice and payment.
Right.
So once goods are delivered, then vendor is issuing or sharing this invoice with account
Okay.
department, and
Okay.
they are making the payment then. So what I
Okay.
believe in this entire system, the last process, invoice and payment, they are actually delaying the entire workflow.
Very good. Dr. Parikshit, your background is from business management or computer science?
Sir, business management. Currently, I'm working with Triple IT only.
Triple IT Roorkee. Oh,
No, sir. IIIT Allahabad. I'm TRF in Department of Management Studies.
oh, so I am looking for people like you only. So please, Dr. Parikshit, suggest me how to improve it. You are the correct person to do it, Parikshit.
So what I believe, the moment you receive the good, an automated invoice should be generated, and then the only part left with accounts department to make the payment.
Very good. So, Dr. Parikshit, just for my knowledge, with whom you are working in the management department?
Sir, Dr. Shailendra. Actually, I'm taking subjects of BTech and MBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can contact us also afterwards. But let me now take from the hint and clue Dr. Parikshit has given. Anybody else who wants to contribute to it? Otherwise, we go ahead with the solution because I have a locked up material to cover. Anybody else who want to contribute? Rajashekhar Babu? How to improve? Precisely what is to be done? Identified the problem? Fine. Now what is to be done?
Sir, good morning, sir. This is Professor Rajni from Chennai.
Please, Professor Rajni, please contribute.
As per my level of understanding, a delay in receiving or dispatch the goods, sir, that will take a long time to settle the amount to the vendor. Sometimes the customer is getting locked their house and all.
Okay.
So the delay in dispatching the goods.
Okay.
That may problem for settling the amount to the vendor. If I'm correct.
Okay. So now what is the solution, Professor Rajni?
The solution is the customers. That is, the customers also, they have to on time they have to receive the goods, and they have to report on time.
Okay.
So that the dispatch people, these are all interrelation, right?
Okay.
So all the reports, as the one of the friends rightly point out, the lack of communication and reporting against the problem.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
See,
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
can
please.
I add something for solution part
Yeah.
from the
Please,
software,
Anand.
software point of view? Okay, so
Okay.
with the software, what we can do basically, what can be done that instead of the manual communication that invoice has been generated or all kind of things. So if there's a common dashboard, okay, and the event based triggering of the events, so that if invoice generated, then it will directly go to next page automatically in the workflow. And they will have to clear it by A or something with the timeline, right? So that event based software dashboarding which have access to everyone, right?
Wonderful. Pradeep, what is your background, Pradeep?
Sir, computer science. I'm working in industry. Okay, so
great.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful suggestion. Let me now take you to what exactly it was done in this particular case. So this is a process as is now. Let me take you to be process. Now the to be process will automate the whole thing, and the purchasing will be directly connected with a database, central database. Okay. And the central database will have automatically the update on the purchase order. And the moment it has update on the purchase order, it will also follow immediately after the goods had been received. The receiving will also update centrally to the database. So purchasing is automatically, while issuing the purchase order, will update it on database that something is purchased. Receiving will also automatically update it on the database, and all these two information immediately will be updated to the accounts payable. There is no need for anything else. Immediate payment will be done. So in this particular case, the process was rather simpler. We all can put our heads together, and beautifully, before I show the slide, you only have suggested me the solution. But imagine about a complex business organization or a manufacturing plant or a complete city administration, lot of processes simultaneously running, having interdependencies on each other. So this area is, that's why, known to be a wonderful area of product process science. This particularly definitely has improved it, but now my last bullet is suggesting me how to automate. How to automate the process re-engineering we wish to do. How to automate things with the data, especially event logs. Event logs. There's a wonderful availability in before you to use the available information on the system. And that's what is exactly data with the mining approach. So this area is called business process management to construct a bridge. And that's why, because all the way we are automating the process, preparing the software, and all these has gone for more than 2 decades. And people have realized that only automation is not going to help you. It's not at all going to help you. What you need is something like what Bill Gates has told. What is the first rule of technology here? Pradeep, can you highlight the quote by the Bill Gates, please? Pradeep Pant.
Yes, sir. The first rule of any technology used in a business is that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. The second is that automation applied to an inefficient operation will magnify the inefficiency.
What does it mean, Pradeep?
Okay, so if you come to the first quote, the first rule of any technology used in the business that automation applied to an efficient operation will magnify the efficiency. It's this means that if you start giving, if you start making the system efficient, it will basically have the ripple effect on the side of efficiency. Okay, so it will increase your efficiency. And the same, in a similar way, if it goes in the opposite way, like if we start degrading the system, it will degrade further. Okay, so I think.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. I would like to have Prachit Joshi also. What will say Prachit Joshi about this statement? Dr. Joshi.
Sir, we need an efficient process. Then only automation will help us.
Correct.
If process is not efficient, then nothing is going to help us.
Very good. So the whole point of view is, earlier people were only trying to automate the existing systems and believing that automation will help us. Automation of railway reservation system, automation of, you can see, vaccine management, automation of almost everything. But thing is, unless you look at the process itself, automation will not be increasing the benefits beyond a point. So ultimately, you have to look at the process itself. If the process is inefficient, the automation will only magnify the inefficiency. Similarly, if the process is not properly looked at with the efficient part, it's going to be trouble. That's why my next slide shall suggest you like this. Rajasekhar sir, are you there? Can you just look at this? So we have many other participants also. Anand Kumar, can you elaborate on this slide? What I'm trying to convey here? Because you started with the business value. Anand Kumar.
Yes, sir. The slide which you are showing is the diagram Y business process model. Yeah. So
what we are trying to highlight?
Yeah, sir, we wanted to increase the business value. Whichever business is running already, they wanted to improve their value, sir.
So why we are showing a cross mark in the information technology yields business value? Why there is a cross mark there?
Right now, it is not clicking me, sir, exactly what I wanted to tell. So,
Okay, okay. Any other participant? Why there is a cross mark here? Information technology yields business value. Yeah.
Sir, can I?
Yeah, please.
Sir, information technology itself is not going to enhance any business value until unless you won't change the process. Business is all
Perfect.
about process.
Wonderful, wonderful, Dr. Parikshit. Thank you so much. So that's what is my whole point in delivering today's talk on process science. Process science is very clearly highlighting you that unless you understand the business process itself and change the process, there will not be information technology alone who can yield the business value. So this is highlighting the requirement of business process changes. So unless we change at process level, the changes are often non-effective. But what are the challenges related to business processes? There are already an approach called business process management, which says that it's a management approach to continuously improve processes and achieve organizational objectives through a set of methodologies and technologies. You can see there is input of people and process, which is being placed on the screen. And what is yielding is an output, So that's what is the whole idea about. And now I'm trying to define you formally what the business process is all about. So now it's a good time to understand that what are the major issues of the business processes. So I will again take the help of Mr. Anand Kumar to help us in the first bullet of bottlenecks. What does it mean by bottlenecks of the process? Can you elaborate it for us, Anand Kumar?
yes, sir, certainly. I'll read this and then I'll try to sir. Bottlenecks, the slowing or halting of a process at a specific stage due to human or machine error or difficulty.
Can you elaborate with an example for this bottleneck point? Any example?
Sir, I can, but I don't know it will fit into this or not. So, sir, suppose if I call you for the expert lecture in my organization, so you deliver a lecture and we supposed to pay the remuneration. So, although while paying that remuneration, I have to follow our college process, sir. Correct, sir? So if I follow that college process, so certainly it will take a time, but due to all online medium, I can after delivering the expert lecture, so what I can do is that I can pay the money quickly. So you will be means the person who are delivering the lecture, he will be happy doing that. So in that direction, I'm just seeing the bottlenecks, maybe the delaying or the many processes are coming at a time and then.
Right. Perfect, Anand Kumar. Very good example. I will now take help of Dr. Parikshit Joshi for our second important bullet here, which highlighted duplication of work and redundancy. Can you elaborate it with an example, Dr. Parikshit?
Sure, sir, I'll try to. Duplication of work and redundancy. Sometimes repetitive assignments are there, as in previous case. Once you are giving, suppose there's a purchase department, there's an accounts department. So every time you are receiving some quotation from your vendor, you are giving it to purchase accounts department. Then after verification, accounts department give it back to you. Then you give it back again to vendor. So sometimes it happens that there's a duplication or same work get repeated many times in the organization. So suppose there is one, you need to verify the same purchase order from third department also. So same thing get verified from several benches or several heads, which is not necessary to get verified. So in this way, sometimes it happens that process or work get repeat.
So you can understand that not only the business, this may happen in the real life, in administration, in many scientific processes also, there is a duplication of work and redundancy. But Dr. Parikshit, more important is the next point. Lack of visibility. How do you express this problem? Lack of visibility. Can you elaborate this?
Sure, sir, I'll try. Management does not have a way of viewing where the process stand, what is their statuses and how they are performing generally and specifically. Sir, what we believe that there are two things, where we are and where we want to go. So sometimes it happens that management does not have a way of viewing the process stand and what is their status. You can say it's a sort of vision. So sometimes vision lacks in the entire process, that why our process gets delayed or why the customers are unhappy with that. If I quote your washing machine example, that what happened, why the customers are not happy.
Okay.
So it happens that the management might lack that particular vision with which you can just remodify or make changes in the business process. So the current status is sometimes not known, or we do the management lacks that particular vision, that particular visibility with which they do not want to just recheck their own process or the status of their process. And in this way, sometimes it happens that we may lack the modeling process or we may ignore the modeling process.
Great, great. Dr. Parashit, thank you so much. But it's a very complicated issue which you have very simply explained. I would like to also listen from other participants if they have any opinion on this. But
Sir,
believe
I
me,
think,
yeah, please, Bhavana.
yeah,
Bhavana,
so lack
please.
of visibility means actually, I think sometimes management does not find out the where the changes actually has to make to improve the business process, where the problem is basically, and where our process is currently at what point or what status.
Very good, Bhavana. From where are you, Bhavana Mathur?
Yeah, I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan.
And what are you doing? What your background is, please?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Bhavna Mathur. I have done my PhD from MNIT Jaipur in
Okay.
operations management only.
Oh, great, great, great. So we'll be very happy to connect with you, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Thank you.
Because these are the areas where we are very beautifully combined with advances in information technology.
Yeah.
Especially the operation management has been developed into a full-fledged certified decision science. So in any way, if you are interested in any further research, as I already clear you, that we are a strong group here in business informatics section.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know. Yeah, I surely contact you, sir.
We like to take your help because we are generally missing some time in the operation management area. Somehow the engineering colleges and institutes have missed out at the subject of operation research and optimization.
Although it is very important and
very important.
Yeah.
So I will definitely connect back to you. But thank you very much for the support in explaining this point. Now I come to the last point of integration issues. I need someone of you to understand and explain to all of us what is actually the integration issues. Any one of you.
Sir, I think integration. Sir, may I?
Please continue. Yeah. Please, madam.
Yes, sir. I think integration issue is since we have in a process number of persons at number of places are doing their own job, but due to improper communication or conflicting in their goals, there are some problems that in total affect the goal of the company. And I think that is where we need the integration. And because of that, the complete process lacks.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
So it's wonderfully explained by Dr. Bhavna Mathur that we have these major 4 identified issues which are considered to be the challenges related to the business processes. And this already, as I told you, just in Europe, it's a very strong groups of people who are working in this area, and they are facing the last as one of the major problem, that process technology or process science, whatever you call it, does not always integrate well with the existing systems. Whatever is actually happening and whatever is the data being collected, we are not able to get in touch with that. and that causes the communication gaps, because company will say, Flipkart will say, I have wonderful business and I have many important milestone achieved, but maybe this is slowly another competitor will sneak into as Amazon, who has a much smarter and efficient process and much quicker delivery of services and the products and whole operation, and slowly they will lose the market. Flipkart will lose the market to the much bigger player like Amazon. Nobody understands that Amazon in the background is doing a lot of research in the process optimization and process management and process re-engineering. So that's what we are trying to convey you today. So business process management is a discipline actually, in which people use various methods to discover, model, analyze, measure, improve, optimize, and automate the business processes. And BPM focuses on improving corporate performance by managing business processes. That's the wonderful area of business process management. In our BTech course in business informatics, we first teach the business process management, and the next elective is to make understand what the analytics can do. But let us try to first get this clarity in our mind that what if business process management can do. So business process management can definitely do the job of first modeling the whole business situation, then trying to analyze those business models, and then try to optimize that particular process or the number of processes, and then only you can go for automation. So as I already told you by the Bill Gates quote, that you should not try to simply automate the businesses in the current form. You should try to first analyze them and remove the bottlenecks, redundancies, and improve upon in the process of optimization, and then only go for automation. But thing is, how to do such things in a complete automated manner. So this is actually a cyclic process. It's a cyclic process. And it's not that once you automate it, it ends at that point of time. It again goes back, So you can see from automation, again you go for monitoring. In the monitoring, I'm looking at the tracking to ensure efficiency and detect deficiencies. Then again analyze, discovery and documentation of existing workflow. Then again optimization of individual process through management, and again integration of applications used in overall workflows. So there are various companies who are working in this field. I'm trying to take help of their slides in explaining what their product is doing as a part of our generic process. So this is the way you go for in a broader manner. Workflow is something like a small flow chart, which many of the computer science people will realize that. And this also has a cyclic manner of monitoring, analyzing, and automating them. And you go on doing that with an approach of business process management. So it's a completely a life cycle for business process management, where you model and design, develop and deploy, manage and interact, and then analyze and optimize. And in all these processes, as I told you, already 3 decades, for last 3 decades, this business process management and analytics was being developed as a subject. But suddenly a wonderful research group in the Netherlands, the University of Eindhoven. The professor, I don't have his name here. I'm trying to just search it out if I have. No. So let me just show you meanwhile a particular site which takes you to that. Okay. University. And then I will show you. How the professor is. Let me open this website for you if I can. Then maybe I can show you. There is a group on So now allow me to let me see how to bring. I'm stopping the share first for a while and then coming back to you on the idea of this. Can I look at a new slide in the name of research area data science? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Thank you. So now this is a very wonderful research group in the University of Eindhoven, which works exactly in the business informatics in general, and in particular data science, and in more specialized manner, process mining or process science. And they are working in the area of connecting how the thing has to be connected with the broad idea of what you deal with them. And also I can go you and show you the research groups. Okay. So here research groups in the advanced nanomaterial, then applied. Let me show you the process science. Researchers may be easier to find out. Let me take you to this wonderful professors. Professor Alst is one of the prime mover in this area. I'm still trying to find them out. Let me do another way of doing it. Okay, so this is one of the area where I wanted to highlight you that the people are working in Eindhoven. Eindhoven is one of the leading universities in terms of working for the area of process mining, and the Professor Pondal Ulst is a leader in the process mining group, which I can also give you further email and more detail about it. And now I would like to come back to the discussion which I was having and to let you see the slide which we are already looking at and try to understand from what exactly we are now going to proceed to this wonderful group of nuclear life cycle. So now the whole process modeling, I can show you the new slide. Is it now visible to you, the whole problem of process modeling analysis?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
So now this area was already in existence for last 30 years, and suddenly you can realize the first part in the whole process modeling analysis is process discovery. You can see the red colored rectangle here suggests to you the process discovery part, where actually you try to understand the as is process model. As is process model tells you how the processes are currently working. Then you go for process analysis in the next stage. And for this purpose, you prepare documentation, you do the communication, and you do the activity-based costing and simulation to understand the process as is. Now, after analysis, you go for process redesign. Redesigning will be actually going to the next stage with the 2B process model. Can you see the changes between these two pictures? As is was a much simpler model of a sequential process. Now in the 2B process model, I have changed the whole sequence. Many times it's like a bypass lanes, and many times it's a multiple parallel tracks running. So I have wonderfully, beautifully redesigned the process in the favor of business, in the favor of customer. And that is the next part of the modeling and analysis, and then benchmarking it, certifying it, and then trying to give the finally, after process implementation, a final position for the executable process model. Executable process model. It's a wonderful, wonderful slide. It actually highlights the existing classical discipline of process science, process modeling and analysis. And at the end, I'm complete with all workflow management, software development, integration and testing, and it's going to be delivered as a process identification. Okay, so please come up to me if you have any query, any question or any suggestion on this slide. So Dr. Bhavna Mathur will be rather appreciating this idea that the whole process has been shown as beginning from the process identification as a part of what we handle in the organization, and then ultimately going through the process discovery as is process model, then analysis and redesign, and done as a 2B process with the process implementation. At the end, we are trying to see whether the process of monitoring and controlling also give you the output, and you end the whole process. This was being done wonderfully till the wonderful group of the Eindhoven came, and they have this red lettered box. What is red lettered
Yes,
box?
yes.
What is red lettered box here?
Event log, sir.
Yes, so that's the
Yes.
wonderful area
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the data mining is now helping Dr. Mathur, is
Yeah.
helping us in the manner of classical subjects like process science is deeply influenced by the automated system generated event logs. Now the event logs are coming in between and helping the monitoring and control part of it. Monitoring and control part of it. And beautifully we are generating. I will show you in next few more slides. I hope I have sufficient time. Dr. Tinku Singh, do I have 15 minutes time? Dr. Tinku? I hope I have, because 11:30 is the time. So now on the next slide, I will show you typically what event log data is. So we assume the existence of event log where each event refers to a case, an activity and a point in time. An event log can be seen as a collection of cases. A case can be seen as a trace or sequence of events, and with the event logs can come from many different sources. Event logs can come from patient data in hospital. Event logs can come from transaction log of a trading system. It can come from the business suite or ERP systems, for example, SAP and Oracle. It can also be an open API providing data from websites, social media, or apps. And here, Dr. Mathur will our technology help you. Here we will help you with all our wonderful tools to drive you with the Facebook social media data, LinkedIn data, and other product reviews converted into actionable data. And then after the data is available, the whole data science comes into the action. Now you can see the process model in the extreme left side of it, process model. So booking request received, then checking the booking request. Now the booking request checked, now the conduct the booking, and then booking is finished. So for whatever job you are doing the booking, this is the way you have defined a process model. On the left side column tells you how the process model has been defined, and the right process execution 1, 2, and next so on tells you what exactly happened with the specific timeline. A specific timeline. You can see the process execution booking request 1 by Sue received by John at 11:03. Then 11:05 the booking checking was done. 11:17 the confirmation of the booking checking request was done, and then booking was done at 12:52 and finished by 1:23. So from 11:03, the time taken in the process was 1:23. Event log will highlight this data. Similarly, process execution 2. You can see my cursor moving around the booking request by Mike, 8:37. And I complete the process at 10:58. Almost every time, more than 2 hours is already gone into this. You can go on looking at various process execution. So what do you suggest from this description, Dr. Parikshit Joshi? What would you suggest from here?
Sir, it's taking a lots more time, more than 2 hours every time. So if there is a central server or some automated system could be there, which can reduce our time, like
Yes.
booking, suppose process execution 1, booking request receive at 11:03. So instead of giving that request to a person John, if we have some automated system, we can immediately check the booking request. Then by 11:04 maximum, we will revert Mr. 1 or Mr. Request made by Mr. 1 that, okay, yes, what's the status? So I think some automated system can be helpful in reducing this time.
Very good, Dr. Joshi. You have very beautifully highlighted that the process model was saying something very undisputedly correct process. But what the process logs, the event logs are suggesting you that you are taking a lot of time, and not you can also see where you are taking maximum time. Can you see the maximum time in the process execution 1?
Sir,
maximum time lag between the two?
Yes, sir. It's step 3, booking request check and conduct booking.
Yeah. How much time it has taken there?
So it's more than 1 hour they are taking.
Yes,
So,
and see the second process execution 2. Execution 2 only 2 minutes.
Only 2 minutes. Yeah.
Only 2 minutes. So it is very clearly highlighting you where are the problems, where are the bottlenecks, and why were they bottlenecks. So you can now believe me, all the classical process science people, process management people are incomplete without the ground realities served by these wonderful event logs. So I keep on doing this for not only 1, 2, but thousands of such cases, and I collect this wonderful, beautiful data. Now a typical snapshot is with case ID, event ID, timestamp, activity, resource, and the cost associated with the resource. And now with this wonderful event log data, I can go back to my idea of what I tell you, the whole idea of process mining with the event logs. So now I think almost every one of you who is not sleeping will agree with me that this area of process science is so exciting and becomes rather more promising with this data mining approach when we collect the event logs and put this into action with the monitoring and controlling. And then I go back to this idea of what is the actually process. So the whole process of process mining will be having 3 different types. One is called discovery of process. So a discovery technique takes an event log and produces a process model without using any a priori information. An example is the alpha algorithm that takes an event log and produces a process model. So there are multiple algorithms. Now IT will come into the picture, man. Business management tool cannot do alone. You need both of them together. So now there's a wonderful group of at least a dozen algorithms are available for the process discovery, where from the event log, I try to generate the data, and one of them is alpha algorithm. And one of them uses the PetriNet model. Second process mining type is conformance. So here an existing process model is compared with an event log of the same process. Conformance checking can be used to check if reality as recorded in the log conforms to the model and vice versa. And the third type will be now enhancement. So if you have done the discovery part successfully, conformance part successfully, next important job, as you can see, is the enhancement. And the main idea is to extend or improve an existing process model using information about the actual process recorded in some event log, whereas the conformance checking measures the alignment between model and reality. This third type of process mining aims at changing or extending the a priori model. An example is the extension of process model with performance improvement. That means showing the bottlenecks. And I can now elaborate each one of them with the individual slides. So first slide for discovery. So I hope you can see the process discovery slide. I'm closing my discussion in next 5 minutes. So do let me know. And now in the bottom, you can see the wonderful name, which I wanted to show you on internet, but I couldn't show it. Van der Aalst. V is pronounced as Fa. So Van der Aalst, this is considered to be the grandfather of process mining and analytics, grandfather. And it's also already having a course on MOOC, on Coursera, on the process mining. So he has given this wonderful idea to see in the green box, green circle, real process, which is unknown to you. Then you see the event data only with examples. And then with the help of these two, you do the process discovery and you generate the process model. Now this process model is available to you. The first part is completed. Now you try to conformance of the process. You check whether the process is correctly understood by you or not. And the conformance and compliance is done. A degree of alignment between the process model, that's the process design, and process log. And then you go to compliance, because you also have to see the regulations and code of conduct, whether the process is properly defined and understood by you. And then you, after that, conformance checking may help in quantifying or process compliance. So useful tool for gaining insights into process executions, and it requires compliant process design. It can only check what is in the process. So once you understand exactly completely what it is, then you have known, as I've shown you the extreme right side of my slide. Anand Kumar, can you see my extreme right side of my slide? What it is showing?
Yes, sir. That fire, break glass.
What does it mean, Anand Kumar? What does it mean? It clearly clearly means that I have understood the major problem in the whole process. Now, what should I do? Anand Kumar.
Exactly, sir. Something goes wrong, then we need to break the glass, take the tool, and then sort it out.
Yes, that's the revolutionary work you have to do. And the next thing will be called process enhancement. So now I will be having the extension. Maybe I use any additional process. Maybe I use any patch for the repair part. And this beautiful picture summarizes whatever is the complex field of process science. And from process model plus process logs, that means the data, I have now given equal to sign in terms of repairing and extension. And now I have enhanced the process model. Again, I show it to a modeling notation and show it to you in terms of what should be the new and improved and extended or repaired process model. So that is all for my discussion today. Of course, I have many more things to show it to you, but I think I am running out of time and running out of energy also. So I will just come back to the first slide only to show you my contact details, because the whole purpose of dealing with you guys was to tell you that what we are doing at IIIT Allahabad, and we are genuinely inviting the interest. You can write down to me on the email as shown to you. And as you can see in this first slide, my affiliations with the University of Bielefeld, Germany, which we have a MOU with IIIT. So please have a note at it and do contact us if you are in any way interested to work further in this area, or you want to invite me for further discussion and further talk. And that's all from my side. Thank you. Thank you.